What is up, people? Welcome back to another episode of Omnifactory. I hope everybody's doing alright. I'm doing pretty good, and we're currently in my spaceship, facing my other spaceship. They're just things we built in the streams. I thought it would be fun just to start over there. But yeah, so we have upgraded our fusion crafting setup. These are all automated. We have Wyvern core, we've got Awaken cores, we have the Wither thingy. It's called the Ender Energy Manipulator. I still haven't changed for the dislocators. They're still there. They're probably just going to stay there. On the other side, we've got more Awaken core. Over here, we've got the particle generator that changes to an energy core stabilizer. And on this corner here, this is going to be my rant for today. So if we look here, we've got Draconic core, Wyvern core, Awaken core, Chaotic core. Then when we get to the energy core, we've got Wyvern energy core, and the orange one, suddenly it's called Draconic. The blue one is called Draconic, and the orange is called Awakened. So why does suddenly the orange is Draconic? But yeah, so this is just my thing. And over here you've got like the orange is called Draconic, so why is this one Draconic? It should be basic core or another one? But yeah, I just don't understand the naming of these and the color pattern. Like, everything else is called Draconic, so then this one shouldn't be called Draconic, and this one, and this Awakened core should be called Draconic. But yeah, it's not important, let's move on from that. So yeah, we've automated a bunch of these, and it's a pretty good thing. I'm pretty happy with what we did. I did modify a couple of things because we moved everything that was in this area. Actually, we deleted the farm and then we moved everything else. Let's just do that. So over here now we've got a little bit of basic energy that simply connects to the corner to a solar panel in the corner. And for some reason the solar panel has no power? How is that even possible? So this one is output. Oh, is there like, yeah, this is the problem I thought might happen. Alright. I think I can fix that by putting glass. It's gonna be ugly, but I can put like a linear of glass in the corner. So I think I even need to go higher, just so that nothing spawns on top. Alright, so now this thing should be getting power. Yes, you heard something break. That means it worked. So that is good. We made one of these farm as well for trees in the other dimension, but the other one is oak, simply because we needed apples. In here, the things that we did. So we did a couple of things. Over here, as you can see, we're making the infused lava crystal. We needed a bunch of this to be able to make the Wyvern core. And this was really the bottleneck, so we did one of those towers that make just that, and it's UV powered. And this morning I decided to make another one because with the doubling of the fusion crafting, we needed more as it was bottlenecking again. So I decided to simply make another one, and now we're good. We needed to automate also a bunch of things for different purposes, and like over here we've got basic RF capacitors that turn into double, that turn into octatic. A big problem that I'm getting right now is coal dust. I'm kind of thinking maybe of using the Tiny Pal, simply because you can use soul sand and it takes like practically no time to process. It's 80, so we're at MV, so that means we can divide by 2, 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 divide by 2. So in total, we're at like 5 second, 2.5, 1.25, 0.68, 0.34, and 0.17. So this thing should go quickly. And it kind of gives us salt pepper, which is something that we needed for a couple of things. And the way we will do the soul sand is by getting the sand into an atomic reconstructor. So we can literally just recycle the sand to get the soul sand to then centrifuge it. So that's why I'm thinking that this might be the way, and then we just transform it into coal. So it might work. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm going to do this off camera. It's just another way of getting it. At the moment, the only way we're getting coal is by getting it from the mob farm, which is a little bit slow. Even though I've got like 6 of these producing coal, it's still not enough. Over here, we're making basic coil, which gets transformed to advanced coil, which goes here, which goes there for single batteries, double batteries, triple batteries, quadruple batteries, quintuple batteries, and Wyvern energy core. This one was a little bit intense to do. So as it turns out, when we were making, I think it's this one here, draconic core, we were starting to make everything that needed like cores and stuff like that, and turns out we ran out of Wyvern draconic core. We were running out. So what I did is I connected a bunch of machines to give it more materials, and since then it works. Turns out I didn't need to add that many, but it still works, so I'm pretty happy with this. And now we've got this wall over here that has dislocators, the ender, the energy core, the particle generators, the compressed octatic capacitors, the Wyvern energy core, draconic energy core, the awakened core, the Wyvern core. I need to breathe. But we're still missing things, and I think it's the first thing we need to talk about while I go to the ball of power to see how much there is in there. And the thing we need to talk about is, where are we going from this? So at the moment, we automated a bunch of things from Draconic Evolution. And where does that bring us? Well, it brings us that we needed those things to be able to make the rockets. So if we look a little bit here, we still have a couple of things to automate. So in this case here, the reactor stabilizer is one of those, but the reactor stabilizer needed awakened core, needed draconic energy core, and even in those recipes for the reactor stabilizer rings, we needed some awakened cores. And in here as well, we needed more awakened cores. So all of these ended up being that you needed all of those materials back to back. So with this automation, we will be able to go forward. There's also the draconic, draconic reactor core. This one simply needs the chaos shard, which we can't make for the moment, because we need to be able to make the tier 8. And I want to automate the tier 8, which brings us to today. What do we need to do today? Well, today I would like to automate at least the supercharged laser array. It's another one of those. Oh, this one we can up the speed. That is a little bit harder to make, but not too bad. So we need the reinforced mining lasers, so meaning that we need redstone, we need glass, we need quartz, we need solidified argon, we need the tier 3, which we already have, we need more nether quartz here, and we need a basic capacitor. Meaning that mainly the only thing that is going to be a bit of a problem is the power buffer to make. The basic capacitor we can use from what we already have, and the dark steel we can also use. So it is not a big deal to make, it just needs to be done in an extended crafting table and then sent into a chemical reactor so that we can change it into the supercharged array laser. We will not make any of the tier 2, tier 3 or tier 4, so we do not need to keep any reinforced mining laser. The other thing that would be cool to be able to make is the FLUXED armor plating, or to be more honest, I would really like to be able to make the quantum fluxed ETERNIUM heavy plating. So this is one of the ones we need to make, and I do think that is the last thing we need to automate into an EBF. At the moment, we already have 3 things for an EBF, and these are this one over here, which makes the fluxed, which is full. we have the monocrystalline silicon. We also have the neutronium plating, and that one over here is not being made because we found out that we could just do it another way. But yeah, so this is kind of where we're at and where we need to go. When we get the fluxed armor plating, we will be able to start making the flux thrusters, which is another step we need to make to automate the warp engine, which also the warp engine is getting a lot closer to being automated as well, because the only thing we needed left was the flux thrusters. So with this being said, let's get on with it. I'm going to prepare the automation for the thing that I talked about at first. My memory is just a blur at the moment. But yeah, so I think I was talking about the supercharged dairy. So that shouldn't be too hard. I'm pretty sure I can fit this right over here. And everything should be all right. Okay, so I think I'm almost done with this, but there's still a couple of steps, so we're going to go through them together. What we have, so the dark steel is being made at the top into a plate, then it goes here to make the basic capacitor banks, then it makes the power buffer. The power buffer is simply going to stay there. Wait, do they stay there? No, that's the thing. That's the... Wow, I completely messed up. So first we make the power buffer, then we make the basic capacitors with the power buffer, with the tier 1 that are in the back here already because we needed them here. So it's like a perfect alignment for the tier 1 basic capacitor stuff. And so yeah, so we end up with the basic capacitors. Then we phantom phase them to the other side of the wall. But at the bottom, we've also got redstone being turned into a block and sent into a chest right here, and also used for the power buffer. On the left, we've got energetic alloy, simply because at first it was using here, so I decided to move it here because I had some space. So it's simply to fill in the drawers on the other side. So we've got one that sends into the phantom phase connected to the other side. And then we've got the chest that pretty much has all the items in them, and most of them come from the other side. On the other side, what we have is some glass, some nether quartz, which turn into a compacting drawer, and we simply export from the compacting drawer into the phantom phase connected to the chest, which is placed on top of the automation interface, which is going to auto-insert from the top. But first, what we need to do is, there's two things. We're going to place that bad boy over here with this bad boy over there. And then we're going to phantom phase this to that. So that way it's going to be able to get some power. And then we're going to grab a draconic... Oh, wait, I've already done that. And simply connect them. And I think I need to shift click. And now it has power, so it's going to be able to actually craft things. But it's not all. We need to make one of the crafts. So I'm going to... Actually, I needed those. I needed the robot arms and the filter. Okay, so let's get rid of these? Yeah. Okay. We're gonna grab like a little bit of that, a little bit of that, a little bit of that, a little bit of that. Oh, okay. Whew. It was turned off, or else it would have been bad. Oh, okay. I grabbed way too many. A little bit of that, a little bit of that, and a little bit of that. Then we're going to go at the bottom, hit this, click that. So there we go. We've got the items for that. And now we can simply save the recipe. So now we do have this. What we're going to do is we're going to grab the items from the top. So the only issue it's going to do is it's going to do all of them at the same time. So there really isn't a way for me to fix that. Smart insert? Yeah, smart insert. I'm not sure the difference. But yeah, it's going to try to do like 64 at a time, so it's not going to be the super best, but it's going to do the trick. Let's put those back in there. So, alright. And we're going to export west. So here it's west, so it's exporting into here. Wait, why did it only do 1? It should have exported 3. Oh, it exported them there. Okay. So we're going to export these over here. And this is connected straight into the drawer. So what we can do is export that. But it needs to be on the wall. So I think for the rocket thing, we're going to put them right over here. So we should start seeing, there we go. I had 2, so now there's 3 in there. But like I said, the only issue at the moment is that this thing does items one at a time. And it's going to take a little bit of time. But once everything is filled up, it's going to craft them like all in one go, and then it's going to take a little bit of time, and then craft them again, and then a little bit of time, and craft them again. But yeah, so it works. I'm pretty happy. This thing takes no time at all. And yeah, that wasn't too bad. It was quite easy to do. The only real problem was the energetic alloy that was here that made it that I couldn't use this one. But once I saw that I had a little hole here, simply placed it, and it works. I must admit, I'm using a lot of Phantom Face, and, you know, maybe eventually it can cause a little bit of lag, but for the moment, everything seems to be fine, and I'm pretty happy with this. Alright, so now we got that. Oh yeah, I did add 2 more over here. I'm still not sure if I want to do the middle. I might end up even using the top, because we only need 1 more of these blast furnace. I'm pretty sure we need electric, only 1 more. I don't think we need more for this, so... Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're good. Well, maybe we want 1 in case we want to make some modularium, but I don't think I need more modularium. Like, it's not needed for anything else, and we already have all our modularium stuff. Oh, it is needed for solar panels. So, alright, there might be a need for us to, like, I don't know, I could do it here. Yeah, we could do it here in the front, and that way all the left side will be for more of these setups, and that way I won't put anything in front, and I think that's going to be better. I kind of like keeping the middle, like, all opened, and yeah, probably going to remove the floor, the white bit, and leave it empty. So that way we're going to be able to have a nice visual on our items on the wall, which is also really nice. So, alright, pretty much the next step, because, well, we've automated that one, and that one, is, like I said, we need to do these. It's not hard to automate. That one is not hard to automate, and we need it for 2 things. So I was thinking of maybe putting it on the wall, but if it's needed for 2 things and it's not that big of a thing, I don't think it would be great to do it twice, to put it on the wall, because it is needed for the flux thruster and for the quantum fluxed ETERNIUM, which isn't bad to do. We will need to probably get, like, I don't know which one I want to keep. Maybe using that one? Do I have a lot of Impossible Realm? Impossible. I've got 29k, and they can be made with these, which works well for me because I've got everything quite nicely tight. This is just a diamond. Yeah, really, this one is the problem. So maybe if I get like a higher moon turf amount, I kind of stopped my my tier 1 because I was wasting a lot of things. So maybe we should have like a storage here to store them until a certain point. Then they get trashed. Currently, they stop, and currently I was for the rhodochlorone, which is going to be needed in the future, of course. But maybe we need to do one for the Moondust. That way we could use Moondust to make those. And it would need like a diamond. Though, we could use that one. It's actually quite easy. It's a diamond pulsating and some extraterrestrial matter, which we get a ton of. Because it comes from Shulker, which, you know, we have 75 million of. Maybe we're just going to use that one. Yeah, I think that might be the way we're going to go about it. But which one is better? So, 4 for 1. But over here, we have impossible data that we can make, which can be extracted into that for 5 and some solidified experience, which, let me show you. So we're at 520,361. I'll remove it, and let's see how long it takes to get a little bit. Or maybe it's not going to give me any. It should be giving me a lot. Unless the farm doesn't work at the moment. Which would be surprising. This is strange. Is it the problem that sometimes it doesn't update? Huh. Alright, well, there seems to be a problem with my farm. Let's go check it out. I did boost it, so at the same time you'll be able to see the boost that I did to the farm. It's my Enderman farm that does that. And I'm really not sure why it's broken. So, alright. Teleporting is actually faster than just flying. So. Okay, so for some reason there wasn't any Enderman. This thing is chunk loaded, so it should work. Yeah, I made it bigger and it seemed to work. But it's still not getting any. Why? This thing should work. See, I'm getting... Okay, let's turn off my magnet and let's see. Yeah, it's getting it. Not really sure. Oh, because the limit is actually 192, so currently it's scrapping everything. Let's remove. Okay, so there it goes. So you see it. Now it's going up. So yeah, we could use that one instead. I think that could be a thing. So the problem was just that the system was full. But yeah, so let me think about this. I'm going to make a little bit of setup. And we'll see how it turned out. Okay. So, this was a little bit more complex because, to be honest, it's not complex. It's just I wanted to fit it into that tiny hole here. Because that's pretty much the way I've been doing it. So, when you need something, I kind of do the setup behind the EBF. So, over here, we've got that one over here. So, it makes the Awakened, which gets sent with the Phantom Face. Connected to the bottom. There's 3 inputs to the EBF. So there's the Fluxed, there's the Quantum Fluxed, and there's the Awakened Draconium. And all of these are made here, here, and the last one as well, here. So yeah, those are all made and sent into the EBF. Then we've got our tank of Krypton. And over here, we're getting the Quantum Flux. So there we go. We've got the plates for the tier 9. So this is pretty good. The next thing, of course, is adding those to the list of materials that we have on our wall. And I was thinking that here was kind of one of the perfect spots. I would have preferred having it here next to everything else that is a plate. But as you can see, it's pretty much full. So there it goes. But as well, we need to send the items in. So I'm going to continue piping them in the same way I've been doing, which is with those. Pretty sure this one's going to need a phantom booster. So let's go back up here and connect the output, which is right here, to the bottom. Bam. And there we have it. We've got 2 more items automated today. That is quite good. We've already got a 512 of these bad boys. I don't think I'm going to do more simply because we don't need to. And it uses... Does it use... Wait. It uses some of the tier 3, so just so we don't, like, use too many. I thought we can keep it simple. I might put 1 upgrade to it. But I was thinking of keeping 1 quite low, simply to put items that are, like, only needed for, like, these kind of things. Like, you see the LUV field generator. It's only used for that. And, of course, well, it's used for the Mark II, which I never noticed, but it's needed for the ultimate generators, which are quite needed for 3 big recipes. But, yeah, so they might come here as well, like the field generators. There's that one, and there's the UV field generator. Yeah, so the field generator UV is needed for the tier 9, and the field generator ZPM is needed for the 0 point module and making the tier 8. The love one is needed for the tier 7. So as you can see there's still a couple of things we need to automate, but everything that I automated at the top, so everything that we just automated may be used for other things. So if we look over here, we need Quantum Flux to be able to do the microminer sessions. And because of that, I think it's going to be quite well. Eventually we'll need Dragon Hearts, because they're needed as well for the ultimate material, which is needed to make the Eternal Catalyst, which is needed a bunch of times to make the Infinity Ingot. And as I said before, we need the Infinity Ingot for a couple of things. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I could make that one already. But we're not doing this right now. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with what we automated. Oh yeah, I forgot. This is no longer needed. At the top I made it UV, so just in case like it wasn't fast enough, decided to make it UV, and turns out it was fast enough. So perfectly done. I'm pretty happy with all of that. Chest here with the liquids. So awesome. I'm actually super happy. And like I said, we probably won't need any of those, and we can remove them. I do still have my ZPM here, so maybe we could use it somewhere. I don't know for what. Oh, I do know for what. For this. Let's just put it in here, and we can remove the power. This thing's never going to run out in an EV machine. So I think this is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to put it right here, and we're going to remove the power. There you go. So if it turns out that this thing stops, well, I'll re-put the power. But for the moment, it can be gone for the eternity. So yeah, I'm not sure exactly what is the next thing to work on. Well, actually, I'm pretty sure I know. This is the next thing we work on, the flux thrusters. Because when we do this one, that means we can automate this, which is a joke to do. And we're going to be able to make the warp engine, which is pretty much the last step we need to start automating. Like the advanced microminer is a joke to do, so that shouldn't be too hard. And we've got the supercharged. We're needing the field generators, the warp engine, a couple of like warp core, but as we saw, like these are a joke as well. Same thing for the sensors. Yeah, that's gonna be a breeze for the rest, I think. So I'm pretty happy. Of course, it kind of means that we need to make stuff like universal navigators and the reactor stabilizer and the draconic reactor. And on the other side, we also have the neutronium solar panels. But I'm thinking that we might not need to automate the tier 10 harvester. But that will involve mathematics. And I'm not too sure how I'm going to go about this. Because that means that I'm going to have to calculate how many infinity ingots I need. And that might be a lot. But for each ingot, we need 1 heart. So, and we also need it for these, so we need 8 here. That one is needed 4 times. So as you can see, it's going to be needed quite a lot. And if we want to keep 1 creative item every time, that means we need 1 more. But yeah, this is where we're at, and this is where we're going. But, guys, that is going to be it for today. I do hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, don't forget to leave a like. If you really loved it, don't forget to subscribe. And I will see you next time. Don't forget, don't put socks with Crocs. That doesn't work. Never works.